This is the video that needs to go viral. This is the video that needs to be shared with everyone, retweeted on Twitter, posted on Facebook, commented in every chat group you are a part of, because if we cannot come together as a community right now, the Pokemon community will die. You always hear people saying like, oh, it's a shame this is what happened to so-and-so community, or this community ended up dying. Right now is the time to stop it. We are in the worst state that the Pokemon community has ever been in. We even have the webmaster of Cerebi saying stuff like this, and it's all because there is no community. Everyone's out there for the greed. It's all about individuals putting out as much fake information as possible to try to game the YouTube algorithm. That YouTube is to blame. We're going to talk about that later in the video, but there's also not enough people just like working on it, focusing, coming together. This is when engagement matters the most. Even if you don't comment on a video, even if you never comment on YouTube videos, even if you never post it, this, if you care about Pokemon, is what you need to do. Even if your friends hate me, even if your friends are unwilling, even if they're ignorant to what is going on in the Pokemon community, you need to make that information out, you need to make that information known. Clickbaiters, misinformation, it's fearless. You have to be too, or else it is done. It is over. That by the time we make it to official Pokemon news, there will be no saving Pokemon. I know you guys are tired of videos like this, but sometimes you just need to take responsibility and man up or woman up for the 14.21% of my audience, so today I am going to be feeding you your vegetables. The Pokemon community is in the worst state that it has ever been in. It is so terrible right now that I believe we do not even deserve any Pokemon news, and it's gotten so bad that Joe Merrick, he's at his wit's ends. He has hit the tipping point, and this is what he has to say about it. I don't know what has happened with this reveal cycle. I've been running Cerebi for almost 19 years, and I have never seen the fandom like this. So quick to take things people say at face value with little critical thought, making jumps and connections based on little. This is the worst it's been, guys. And I've been saying this for a while. I've been calling this for a while. Everyone calls Verlisify crazy, or that he's just calling out people for no reason. No, there's a reason behind every video. Every video I've made, every statement I make, I feel moves the community forward in some way. Whether it's calling out stupidity and just kind of revealing that, like, look, this is what it looks like. We cannot give into this. We cannot humor this in any way, or calling out clickbaiters and people that are degrading the community, and after ignoring me for so long, and memeing me. Pixelpart, a guy with zero credibility, zero insiders, zero anything to really build it up, and has really only posted false information that people have kind of bought into. He makes a joke about me, and that's what takes off, guys. Instead of trying to push the community forward, let's just make fun of the people that are actually trying to move the community forward. But I can answer Joe Merrick's question right here. I don't know what has happened, and I can tell you exactly what has happened. YouTube. YouTube has been pushing the clickbait because of shifts in the algorithm, and maybe that's why it's worse now than ever before. That, there's always been clickbait, there's always been fake news and stuff going around. Like, Tyranitar during the Pokemon Sun and Moon news cycle was ridiculous, but it still wasn't as bad. And, now it just kind of feels even worse and more desperate. That's because of YouTube. A lot of people, they have kind of built their living. They're putting their livelihood on getting as many views as possible, and because of that, they get more and more desperate to kind of hold on to that, and that's going to create a lot of problems. But also the algorithm. So there's been this shift in the algorithm. I think I started to notice it about August 2016, right before Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is probably why it wasn't as bad for the Sun and Moon reveal season. But then February 2017, things made a really wild shift, and it looks like it's just been getting worse and worse. Now, right here is my favorite video on YouTube right now. In the entirety of YouTube, my favorite video. The day the League of Legends community died, from Ross Boom Socks. So he's actually talking about it, and inside of his video, he makes a really interesting point. He says he's talked to YouTube, he's talked to people that work for YouTube, he's understood the algorithm, he's been able to back this up with some other people, and apparently, the YouTube algorithm is in such a sad state right now that if you go and click on someone else's video off platform, so say you see a tweet from some random guy, you click on him, and then in your recommended, you see my video, so you click on my video, that person gets all of the watch time for my video. So what it has done is that it has made the system very feast or famine, and when it comes to channels that are dedicated to news, whose income is based off of news, that means you have to be the one to clickbait. You have to be the one to get people to you first with the most absurd information, or else you're just going to get wrecked by it. That all the views, all the watch time that other people try to accumulate with honest information or just their normal content, that means nothing. The site time goes off of whoever comes to the site from who, so that means the social media presence, getting that viral post out there on Twitter, Facebook, just getting friends to share it, other groups and stuff like that. That viral post that brings them to your YouTube first is what's going to make it work, and that's why we've seen this clickbait snowballing. They might not even know this. They might not know that this is how the system works, because I didn't until last night when I found this video, but that's kind of like showing how this is happening. That's kind of showing that this is why clickbait is being more successful on YouTube in general. This is why Logan Paul and all these other things have blown up, and people are just disgusted by the content, but it's what's getting people to the site, and then it's what the algorithm is seeing as good. That even though that video might be garbage and everyone hates it, since it was the initial one, it clickbaited, it got people onto the site, anything else just kind of tells YouTube, oh hey, look at that, they stayed on the website for 3 hours watching other people's videos, so that means that the first guy must be the one doing a great job, and I think that that's the biggest problem. Also, I love this video because I've hated Riot's development cycle since like late season 3, so I really like seeing what's going on, and it pinpoints a lot of feelings I've had about the game for a while now. But I mean, it's good. It's also good to see, in a bad way, that other communities are falling apart. That League of Legends was a very YouTube-driven community. I used to watch League of Legends videos all day long, every day, but as Riot started making bad decisions and the algorithm kind of 1-2 punched it, yeah, the League of Legends community died because there was no more YouTube support. The Pokemon community is pretty much dead because there's no more YouTube support, and now everything is just garbage and no one's actually trying to support the community or the spirit of the game, the spirit of the community, and anything like that. It's just about the money and trying to hoard as many people as possible. But then we get into the absolute most desperation and hypocrisy. So in response to this, we have Arrow. Because Pokemon Switch has the chance to be an amazing game, there are very few limitations of power, storage, graphics that can allow Pokemon to be a game of highly or extremely high caliber. This is why we all can't wait to see it. Pretty much, Arrow is effectively making excuses for all of his clickbait and all of his quote-unquote excitement that he just recklessly like, he is the problem. He is what Joe Merrick is addressing. Now, I'm not putting words in Joe Merrick's mouth. I'm not making this statement for Joe Merrick, but basing off what he's saying, you know, people are quick to take things at face value with a little critical thought, and like, that's the YouTube snowball. This is the problematic content that is leading to this, and then people supporting Arrow is just supporting this toxic mentality that's making things worse, that has made it to where we have like insane exposure right here. 143 retweets, 970 likes, 138 comments. That is tens of thousands or more of impressions. And I mean, it's Joe Merrick, so Webmaster of Cerebi gets a lot of promotion as well. So people agree with this. But the people that are agreeing with this, that follow Arrow, that follow In-Game The Cube, that follow all these other people and watch their videos, they are contributing to the problem whether they know it or not. And that's because of the way that YouTube works. YouTube is breaking everything because it's telling you what you want to watch. That sub boxes, they don't work. Notifications, they're starting to fail just like the old sub boxes. And the only content that people want to watch is the exciting content. And because these channels are larger, there's like this implied responsibility. There's this implied value. Oh, hey, it's a popular YouTuber, you know, he must have credibility to be in the place where he is, even though he only got there through clickbaiting and lying, and then that just kind of snowballs it. YouTube promotes their videos, that's going to be the exposure right there, and then turns against the Pokemon Company in the saddest way. That by believing fake information, that by believing what they want to hear, because that's why leaks are so successful, or not leaks, fakes, rumors, all this garbage, that's why they're so successful. You craft it to make it to where people want to hear, they think it's real, and then they get mad at the Pokemon Company when they don't deliver on fake information. I mean, even Arrow goes back to this. New Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon leaks plus trailer 2. New credible leaks. Huh, I didn't know the Alolan Slugma was credible. That never happened. Or the horror form, you know, the new Mimikyu form, Pokemon following you. Sometimes there's also just stupidity. That's like, what does my audience want to hear? What does the community want to hear regardless? Like, you watch that trailer, there is no evidence of Pokemon following you. The Pokemon is apart from you, and then the following mechanics don't even look popular. But what's going to give me the most views? Pokemon following you. So that's all that it is. All the information, even the official real information, is being spun around and recrafted to try to actually get the most publicity possible, and it's super sad. New Pokemon reveals are coming, so yeah, Arrow, he commented about this when really he is the problem. Look at that. Are these hints for Gen 8 starter Pokemon? Putting fake starters, fake Mon, that's just straight clickbait right there. Fake gameplay, the rumor, and then the most ultimate of clickbait. Does this still not say April Fool's? No. So we are past 2 weeks at April Fool's, and then has this official looking thing. You cannot hide behind this. It doesn't matter if this is a joke, doesn't matter if this was April Fool's. It was set up to clickbait. It was set up to trick people, and it is still doing that even now. Like, it looks too official. You have to parody to make something for April Fools. You can't just lie this blatantly for attention. But I mean, people, 24,000. So every person that liked and supported this video is contributing to the destruction of the community. And it's super sad that this is what happens. And then, of course, we have, like, in-game the cube, just the most notorious destruction. But I think it really shows how snowbally the algorithm is. Look, before, he was doing nothing. 1.9k, maybe a small, slightly viral video, 17k, 8k, 1.2. A lot of this garbage wasn't being entertained, but then that desperation switch flipped and stuff like that, and then the massive clickbait happened. That instead of YouTube punishing false information, misleading information, clickbait, instead the community doesn't even punish this. They see this, they click on it. Well, now if you saw that on Twitter, if you saw that on Facebook, if you saw that on Reddit or something, you click on this from off the site. Now this guy gets all the attention for the massive clickbait that represents nothing off of false information, fake gameplay. And as you can see, it went from, you know, a little bit of traction, E3 2018 rumor, and then just massively every video now hits the algorithm. And that's really it. It's a snowballing algorithm. It's feast or famine. That once you get one video that does well, if you do it right, because like notice how the videos are spaced out. A video a day, video every 2 or 3 days, stuff like that, as long as it's only good information. So YouTube used to be good for daily content. If you uploaded daily, you got really rewarded, and potentially every one of your videos could get featured. Well, now there's also anticipation in the algorithm, that if you wait a day or two and you upload more prime information, that's actually going to instantly hit recommended, which is actually going to get more views, and then instantly hit recommended the next time you upload. So this one thumbnail right here effectively created this flood of cancer, and people are supporting it. That if this video never hit 1 million views, it wouldn't have snowballed as much. But now even the unrelated videos, you know, this would have been a 5k view video, but now it's actually getting hundreds of thousands. And it's not because the content is good or anything, it's just because of the algorithm. The algorithm puts it there, people are going to click on it every time, and that's it. We see one video that doesn't get picked up in the algorithm, 22k. And that just shows it right there. Even this one, 7.7k. So even at the core, there is nothing to this channel except for YouTube promoting it. So YouTube is to blame. They have, like, since 2016, 2017, when they really messed up the algorithm, when they really started killing gaming communities, whenever they made this weird shift that has still not been fixed, explained, or anything like that, it now just kind of really shows a snowball mentality. I've been on the receiving end of it as well. I've been at the point where every video I uploaded, even 2 videos a day, I would upload 2 videos a day when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, like gameplay guides and stuff. Both of those videos would get like 200k views, just super viral. I don't even know how there's this many people watching it. And yeah, then you do like 2 bad days and then you're kicked out of the algorithm forever. But as long as you keep clickbaiting, as long as you keep putting false information, like look at this, fake gameplay and then copying Etika, and that's the push. That's the drive, the try to get everything going, and that's all based off false information. It's pixel par with no credibility, it's random 4chan rumors, and then it's fake gameplay information. But because that's blowing up, this is the exposure, this is what's expected, and then people copy it. We have A-Drive, unfortunately just starting to do all the fakes as well, becoming this, and then taking pixel par information, copying in-game the cube exactly. So that means we are showing other content creators that are now becoming the problem. That what was once honest content, you know, started to take that shift, started to cover fakes. You know, we had to where A-Drive said he'd take a video down if it turned out being fake. He took it down. Next time he didn't take it down because the views were too good. Then we have this right here, looking exactly like in-game the cube's thumbnail with fake gameplay, fake information based off of an uncredible source, or not credible source, you know, something like that, and then also trying to just like ride the news as hard as possible. So effectively, instead of trying to push the community forward, instead of saying this, I'm trying to find all, you know, instead of looking at in-game cube, looking at Arrow, looking at Ruffled Rowlet, looking at all these things that are contributing to the destruction of the community, instead of saying this is wrong and we need to fight it, just falling into it. So that's the problem. Everyone has fallen into it as well instead of trying to, and that's why it's worse now than ever before. A-Drive used to be critical of TyranitarTube. Then he realized there's more views in clickbaiting. There's more views in doing fakes. So he actually apologized to TyranitarTube. He's like, oh, I don't know if you saw my tweets criticizing your clickbait or anything like that, but I just say that I support what you're doing. You should follow your own stuff. And it's like, wait a second. No, you need to stand strong. That shows the desperation. Views are low right now. We didn't have the, like, 7th generation didn't go over well. So I wouldn't say that's Pokemon Company's fault, because I think that hacking destroyed the community more than anything. But yeah, like that's kind of how it is in like a really awkward way, is that, you know, People are trying to get as many views from nothing right now. 25%, like we are down 75% on viewership. So the really only way of getting anything is through news and by clickbaiting and faking this, which hurts the community more, which drops views even more. It's the hypocrisy of agreeing with Joe Merrick and then making or supporting the content that you disagree with. I mean, we even have this right here, called out Arrow. All of y'all, can't we just stop fighting and drama? Good grief. Well, the reason why there is fighting and drama is because this is what has put us in that situation. If you're siding with Arrow for being a hypocrite and doing this stuff right here, that is what's destroying the community. There is nothing wrong in this call out because it is what the problem is. It is what is being addressed by all of the people that are saying that the Pokemon community is in a bad place. Because it is the worst that we have ever seen it right now, and I don't know what it takes to get through with that. Like, you can't stop the YouTube algorithm. Like, if there's anything that's been learned, is that you can't stop the YouTube algorithm. You can't even force it sometimes. Like, you can either craft to try to get something that's going to go viral. Like, you can make something viral, and sometimes YouTube will refuse to make you viral. You cannot stop the spread of fake information, and that's why YouTube is blamed. But at the same time, as a community, you can stop this. You don't click on any of his videos. You don't even click to dislike and leave a comment about how it's clickbait or something, because the YouTube algorithm doesn't see it that way. The YouTube algorithm sees it as just more and more support. So I think that's it. We just need to make sure this stuff gets shut out. But the problem is this video, 10, 15, 20,000 views because people are tired of hearing this conversation, instead of it getting to the 1, 2, 300,000 people that are tired of this crap, that don't want to see it anymore, that will then push the other stuff out of the algorithm. You know, that's just kind of where we are right now, and it sucks. I don't think it's going to change, because then when you have that algorithm momentum, once we get real information, in-game the Cube, he transitions into being credible source, and now every video is getting those mad views, and it's TyranitarTube 2.0 on steroids. That's even driving the community worse, because then that's going to be fakes on top of fakes inside of real information, and then Pokemon's dead. It's amazing that a couple of channels, a couple thousand views, a couple million views maybe, and then the YouTube algorithm actually kills an entire gaming community. But that's the fact right now. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.